Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Your host Ram once again with you, welcoming you all to the cricket show, Cricket Happenings. This on a Sunday, the 6th of February 2022. Well, what a significant moment for India. India has become the first ever nation to play 1,000 ODIs in their history, and definitely that's a proud feeling for India. There is no doubt about it, as they won the 1000th ODI v West Indies by 6 wickets in the first ODI of the three-match series, and definitely that's a good feeling, winning the 1000th ODI. Rohit Sharma, in his captaincy, as his full tenure as a captain, comes here and picks up a win for his team. And also, he did well with the bat as well on a bit of a difficult track. I mean, not a very difficult track, but probably a bit difficult, one could call. Well, so I'm going to talk about it. So definitely that is the one which is going to hold center stage on my cricket conversation today, on Cricket Happenings. As let's dive into this particular match and see what really transpired in the first ODI at Motera Stadium in Ahmedabad. It was a good toss to win for India, being the 1000th ODI. Indian captain Rohit Sharma, after winning the toss, seeing some moisture on the pitch, probably decided to insert the West Indians into bat. And the West Indians had a real struggle. Today we saw Deepak Hooda, the batsman, the finisher, as Rohit Sharma had definitely hinted that he wanted a good finisher, and that is very important as well. In an ODI tournament, you definitely need a good finisher, and Rohit Sharma had actually mentioned about it yesterday, and definitely there he was. Deepak Hooda, the finisher, was there, but he didn't have much of a job to do, barring giving some company to Surya Kumar Yadav to basically nurture India towards the victory mark. So let's have a look at the West Indian card. So if you look at the West Indies card, if you look at it, they bowled out for 176. Now, Kieron Pollard, the West Indian captain, earlier had definitely mentioned in one of the interviews that he basically wants the West Indians to last the full 50 overs. That is the key, and that is not happening. And again, if you look at it, they were bowled out in 43.5 overs for 176 runs. Looking at the card does not make any happy reading, barring Jason Holder, who was the only one who actually, as I said, the West Indian team kept on losing wickets. They were in the process of even being bowled out for 100 at one stage when Akil Hussain was the last to go with the score reading 79 for 7. But Jason Holder was the one who resurrected things, one could say, for West Indies to go to a defendable score of 176. 57 of 71 deliveries, which included 4 sixes. Fabian Allen is another one who contributed well in the lower order, making 29 of 43, 2 boundaries included in that. And definitely, if you look at the West Indian innings, does not make any happy reading. I'm just going to go through the wickets for you, just for you to get a sort of a handle on what exactly happened. So the first wicket to go today was Shea Hope. Shea Hope and Brandon King opened the batting, and Shea Hope was the first to go, and Mohammad Siraj was the bowler who actually had a nip backer, real nip backer from him, as Shai Hope had driven him for 2 beautiful boundaries, and this time got a delivery which actually was bowled with a wobble seam by Mohammad Siraj. It nipped in, and it took the inside edge, and onto the stump she went. And Shai Hope was on the way back to the pavilion, bowled by Mohammad Siraj for 8. So that was Mohammad Siraj drawing first blood for India. Brandon King and Darren Bravo at the crease. Brandon King, the next to go. Washington Sundar was immediately put into after the new ball was given. The new white ball was going to Mohammad Siraj and Prasidh Krishna, who both the bowlers who really hit the deck hard. Washington Sundar, for the first time after a very, very huge gap in cricket, came back and definitely he bowled superbly. If you look at his bowling figures, he ended up with 9 overs, 1 maiden, 30 runs and 3 wickets, and he bowled a lot of variations. He is someone who really keeps the batsman quiet, and that has been missing for India even in the T20 circuit. And I think Washington Sundar coming into the mix is going to make things all the more easy for India. And look at the performance from him. 9 overs, unmade, and 30 runs and 3 wickets. First, he picked up the wicket of Brandon King. Basically, Brandon King is a good placement, but he was beaten by the turn of the pitch. And the ball, as I said, there was a bit of the ball getting holding a bit. And that's the reason I said the track was not so easy to play. And Brandon King was shaping to work this ball onto the onside. He took the leading edge, and short mid wicket was into the picture immediately, with Surya Kumar Yadav grabbing the catch. Brandon King gone, caught Yadav bowled Washington Sundar for 13 with 2 boundaries, and the score at 44 for 2 in 11.2 overs. Darren Bravo at the crease was joined by Shamar Brooks, and Darren Bravo was the next to depart. Again, Washington Sundar, as I said, bowling with lots of variations, and he actually had to convince his captain, Rohit Sharma, to go for a review. There was a loud shout for LBW, and they were a bit sure. But Washington Sundar was absolutely convinced that Darren Bravo was right in front, and Bravo was definitely beaten on the inside edge. The ball was straightening, and Washington Sundar was absolutely right. Darren Bravo had to walk back to the pavilion. LBW bowled Washington Sundar for 18 with 3 boundaries. Shamar Brooks was joined in by Nicholas Pooran. Nicholas Pooran, in his brief stay, looked good, but then Nicholas Pooran is someone I think he went for the sweep shot. This was Yuzvendra Chahal getting into the mix, and Yuzvendra Chahal was the most successful bowler today. He took the Player of the Match award, and he bowled superbly. Now, Nicholas Pooran definitely plays the sweep shot very well, but here it was on this particular sweep shot, which was it was pitched outside the off stump, and it was turning, but it was turning into Nicholas Pooran, and it hit the middle, hit the pad of Nicholas Pooran, and that was it. That was the end of Nicholas Pooran. LBW Chahal for 18, 3 boundaries. Kieron Pollard was dismissed for a first ball blob. He came in and left as soon as he came. And that was the biggest blow that West Indies could ever have, as the West Indian captain trooped his way back to the pavilion. He was totally beaten by the wrong one coming in from Chahal. It was a loopy delivery, one could call, and Pollard was trying to have a drive at it. He was probably reaching to drive at it, and he did not read it correctly, as Pollard definitely did not pick up the wrong one. It was a leg break, and that was the end of Kieron Pollard. His off stump was pegged back, and that was the end of Kieron Pollard, bowled by Chahal for a blob, and the score read a very shaky 71 for 5, and Kieron Pollard was walking. And then matters compounded. Shamar Brooks was sent back to the pavilion, this time by Chahal, as this was a ball again from Chahal, which was turning in, a leg break, one could call, and but Brooks, trying to play a defensive stroke, was taken behind by punt, and that was the end of Shamar Brooks, out for 12 of 26 deliveries. And that the score read 78 for 6 in 21.5 overs, and that was a very, very bad scene for West Indies. Akil Hussain walked in, and now there were 2 new batsmen in the crease, Jason Holder and Akil Hussain. Akil Hussain did not trouble the scorers, as Prasidh Krishna was the one who picked up his wicket, as the ball from Prasidh Krishna were actually kept low, and Akil Hussain probably was trying to, in 2 minds probably, he was trying to leave that particular delivery, but probably he changed his mind at the last instant and decided to push at it, and that was the end of Akil Hussain. Caught punt ball Prasidh Krishna, as I said, without troubling the scorers, out for naught. He was gone, and West Indies were in dire straits at 79 for 7. It was the 23rd over, and they had still a lot of overs in the bag to play, and it was the West Indians were looking at disaster here. Jason Holder, with a knock of with a good partnership, which was the only partnership that revived this West Indian innings from 79 to 157, and that came through the courtesy of a 78-run partnership between Jason Holder with 57 of 71, 4 sixes, and Fabian Allen, who contributed 20 runs of 43, 2 boundaries. And at 157, it was Washington Sundar who ended the stand of 78 runs between these two players, as it was a return catch. In fact, off break from Washington Sundar, and Allen was trying to put it past the bowler. But again, as I said, this pitch, the reason I say that it was a bit difficult was the ball was really stopping at you. And that is the time the batsman had to really take care. But it was not to be. It was the end of the Fabian Allen chipped away a catch to Washington Sundar, who gleefully accepted it. 20 runs have gone, Fabian Allen gone, and after that there was not much. Jason Holder was the next to go. With the tail enders, Alzari Joseph coming in. I can't call Alzari Joseph a tail ender because we know that against Bangladesh he hit 80-odd runs. So definitely, but Jason Holder was sent back to the pavilion by Prasidh Krishna, as this was a ball from Prasidh Krishna. Though this is the advantage of Prasidh Krishna, the hit the deck bowler, actually bending his back there, as Holder was trying to punch it through the cover region, but the ball just kicked up a bit, and that was the end of Jason Holder. He was caught behind as he got a thick edge onto it. It was Pant doing the rest behind the stumps. And after that, Alzari Joseph was a victim of the bowling of Chahal. Joseph going for a big hit. Surya Kumar Yadav at long on, making no mistake. Alzari Joseph gone for 13. Kemar Roach was not out on naught. And 176 all out, as I said, only thanks to that Fabian Allen and Jason Holder stand.